Welcome back to the PTOUnlimited podcast. My name is Brett.
I'm Josh.
Alex.
This is episode 134,
Live and in stereo.
Hey,
Wow.
guys.
What's
What?
up?
We're live on YouTube.
We're live on YouTube right now.
Hello, YouTube.
First time live streaming on YouTube.
Oh, it's exciting.
Alex is nervous for some reason.
Shut up, Brett. Jeez.
It's not like you haven't done this before.
I know. It's like I totally don't go live 4 nights a week.
No.
Hey, you're live all the time. What are we talking about?
It's
here?
just different. I'm all like flustered right now.
Okay, so let's get into the podcast.
I'm fanboying right now.
You
You
have
said a
lipstick all over your.
1, 3, 4 thing.
Alex's lipstick sucks.
Yeah, it does.
It's like
I
the
need-
worst lipstick ever.
I need new lipstick.
So 134 is the hottest temperature ever recorded in the United States.
Oh,
What
damn.
state?
134?
California, Death Valley, July 10th, 1913.
Well, that's why they call it Death Valley.
Yeah, that's where the Undertaker's from.
I was going to say that, but then I thought nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Speaking of not caring, I'm going to talk about wrestling right now.
You wanna
Just
go right
just
there?
break right into it. You want to know why?
Sure.
Because I'm done with it.
You finally came over to my side.
I am done.
Does this mean that you're not going to watch any more pay-per-views?
Not necessarily. I'm
Like,
canceling.
okay, the main
You
one.
got to commit.
I'm watching the main stuff.
The main one.
You got to commit.
I'm
If you're
committing
if you're saying
to-
you're done, you got to commit.
What? The level of commitment here is me not paying for the network anymore.
Yes.
I am
We're
canceling it
canceling
after
the
this
network.
month. It's done. I
Okay.
am no longer.
But if you're going to watch 2 shows a year, you're not going to have a clue what's going on.
I'll watch 3.
That's the fun part because it doesn't freaking change.
It doesn't
the
matter.
whole year anyway.
It doesn't matter. Matches are starting to just become so stale.
Yeah.
Crown Jewel did this for me.
Yes.
I don't even know what that means.
Explain, Josh.
Crown Jewel. So the WWE has been contracted now to doing pay-per-views in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
They did one back in April, March, which was called the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Okay.
It was a glorified house show.
Yeah.
And then they did this one called Crown Jewel. Same exact thing, except Roman Reigns is now out due to leukemia,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and the Universal title is vacant. So they had the match on Crown Jewel. So the winner had to be crowned the new champion of the Universal title, and the winner was Brock Lesnar.
So this is why you're giving
This is why I'm
up,
done.
right?
Yeah.
Brock.
How's the volume?
I don't know. How's the
It's-
volume?
Sounds great.
Okay, I thought I sounded a little quiet. And
You're
I
going
have
to.
that problem anyway.
You're going to.
Okay.
I messed with the soundboard.
Okay. So
In a good way.
So Brock Lesnar won,
Yeah.
which is not a stretch by any means.
Mhm.
They couldn't take the opportunity to
They gave it
to
to
push somebody.
it was
Right.
because you said it was Braun Strowman.
Braun
and
Strowman versus Brock
so
Lesnar.
they gave that match another try. It should have gone to Braun Strowman.
It should have. It was a squash.
There's no reason to take such a great wrestler, such a big guy,
A guy who's so
who's likable.
yeah.
Very likable, and then you just go, let's just give it to Brock again and keep this going till Mania.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I think at least of the people I know, Shane is the biggest. What do you want to call him?
Fanboy.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'd
wanna-
say Shane and Rick are pretty.
Rick never talks about it though, and when I bust their balls, Shane's the one defending. So I want to know what Shane
Yes.
says about
Now here's
all
the
this.
thing. He just messaged our group chat saying, "Is it okay if I host all the pay-per-views?"
Oh,
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll still.
He'll be sitting alone.
Well,
I
no.
wouldn't say that. I'd just say like
We'll go to
we're
some.
still gonna go.
but
We've actually got just to let you guys know if you're watching live on YouTube right now, we do have a chat up. So
Yes.
you guys feel free to chat because I'm monitoring the chat, and we actually do have a comment here from Tim Greeny.
Tim.
Yep. What's up, Tim?
Haven't heard from you in a minute.
Independent wrestling is better than WWE at this point
Oh,
after
yeah.
Crown
I would
Jewel.
have to. I mean,
Well-
I don't watch independent wrestling, but it can't be any worse.
And I wanted to talk about this last week, but I wanted to see what the outcome was of Crown Jewel. There's a lot of conspiracies around this pay-per-view, and Saudi Arabia right now. Someone got assassinated in the whole mix of this stuff. Like there was a death. A reporter got killed
Yep,
allegedly.
Yep.
It's a whole mess. And the WWE still went with it. They still had the pay-per-view. People didn't want to go. John Cena and Daniel Bryan did not go.
I saw that because I asked you, like you were telling me about Crown Jewel because it was airing in the States here at noon our time, like
on Friday.
On
Yep.
Friday. So Josh was, while I was taking a shower, he was giving me the points.
Yeah.
The highlights while I was taking a shower. And he's like, Oh yeah, and then on top of that, Daniel Bryan didn't because I asked him. It was Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles.
Yeah,
Is
for
what
the title.
It was supposed to be for the title. He's like, oh yeah, and then it was AJ Styles versus
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe, and I'm like, wait a second, that wasn't supposed to happen. Where's He's like, he didn't go.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Is NXT still a thing?
Yes,
Yes.
and it's awesome.
Say that's probably pretty.
NXT
Good.
is getting all the 5-star matches from
Yeah.
the David Meltzer.
I'm actually
Is that-
really
does that sound
excited
right?
when we watch WWE when
Mhm.
they say, and this person's from NXT. Like I get excited for that. I'm like, good, new blood.
Yeah, yeah, people who actually care about their careers.
And they're generally very good.
I'm
If
not-
you made it from NXT to WWE, that usually means like you're really good.
Right, exactly. So, Brett, I'm sure you're like, okay, you're
What?
canceling the network. You're done with
Oh.
wrestling. I mean,
That's you saying this. I've never had the network.
I know.
No, and that's what he
Yeah,
says
like I'm
yours.
saying,
Yes. So what I say is, I say you got to commit. But yeah, if you're canceling the network, that's about all you can do.
that's the money that I'm not giving them anymore. I mean,
Yep.
it's not like they're going to miss my $10. They're a billion-dollar company. Actually, they're losing money on house
Sure,
shows.
sure.
Heard about that too. So wrestling, I think, I hate to say it, but it feels like it's a little dead to me.
It's just there's just
Well,
not
it's-
enough there
It's
anymore.
dead
No.
to you all. It's still alive for a lot of
I know.
other people, and
Yeah.
especially the younger kids that it's supposed to appeal to now versus
Yeah,
you know.
it's no longer appealing to us.
I will say what was the women's match or the pay-per-view that we just watched?
Revolution,
Yes.
Evolution.
Evolution. I think
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yeah,
Actually, not that bad.
it was good.
It was good.
Yeah,
But on the men's side of things, it's just the same thing all the time.
it's recycled.
It's so well, I guess it is a little bit on the women's side too. But at least like you're just not used to seeing the women wrestle as much.
No,
And now it's like
they're
we're getting our own pay-per-views
They're
now.
getting 10 women or 5v5 tag matches on standard TV now.
And
They're no longer getting the
back
push
in
that they used to.
Back in the day, like when I would watch it, and when I say back in the day, I mean like 07, 06 when I would watch it.
Yeah.
The women's matches were like, eh. And now it's like the wrestling match on that pay-per-view between Flair and oh my gosh, who
Use your words.
hold on, what's her name? She's got the red
You're talking
hair.
about Sasha Banks.
Nope. No.
Oh, you're talking about Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
Yes.
Thank you. I could not remember her name. I love her to death. Like she's a great wrestler. I really like her.
That was a good match.
That match was amazing.
Yeah.
And I do not like
Charlotte Flair.
No.
No.
No. I don't. And it was an amazing match.
So I'm done with the WWE. I can't stress this enough. Like, it's not, I don't care. I've missed enough pay-per-views and enough TV that I just don't have a care in the world for it anymore. It's sad, but it's
Josh
also...
is like, am I getting old?
No, I'm not necessarily getting old because I know when we have kids, it might arise again.
Probably.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
other comments before we move on?
No, we can move on.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about fantasy football.
Yeah, and how much
Um,
I'm done.
Well, that's part of what I want to talk about.
Okay.
So just for instance, just to talk about in our league, I scored 108 points this week, and I was going against Joe, who's got the best record in our league.
Yes.
I scored 108, which most of the time that will probably get you a win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe scored 170 points.
Of course, this all matters on how you have your league set up.
Right.
Because everyone will be like, "Oh, I've gotten that all the time." Well, it might be.
Yes, I mean you can have
In our
one
league,
where you
100 points
score-
is great.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and you know how am I supposed to beat that?
I can't go over
So-
80 or 90.
It's
I can't get
because
over 95.
He played Chicago's defense.
He
Oh
did,
my
and they got 30
God.
points because they played
30
the Bears.
points.
Look up the matchups for this week real quick.
Oh, the
will ya?
matchups?
I got it.
I think
You're gonna have to do
I
it.
think
Yep.
I haven't looked. I think I have Shane,
Oh, okay. I am facing Dustin.
who we don't know.
We don't. He wasn't at the table.
He wasn't at the
He
table.
wasn't even
Nope.
in the league at draft day.
No, that's what I mean. He wasn't
Alex,
at the table.
you're facing Rick.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
No, Rick's not so good right now. You can probably beat him.
Brett, you're going up against Kevin.
Oh, okay, cool. So Alex, did you win?
Real close.
No.
No, not real close.
It could have been.
I
So-
lost against Ashley, who isn't even playing.
So, but
I got single
but-
digits down the row, but Mahomes.
But Shane is running her team. So you technically got beat by Shane.
I know, but it was a
Ashley's
low-scoring
players.
game. I got like 65 points, and she got like 70.
Yeah.
It was a really like, and I had some great players. True, it was my bye week mess up
a
or
couple
whatever.
buys, yes.
I had a couple like my running back and my wide receiver who scored me double digits were on my bye, but I didn't have like what's considered really bad running backs. They freaking have Ingram. I have Ingram. They finally bring him back after the first 4.
Well, he's been back a couple weeks.
That's why I know, but he's been back, and they're not playing. Like they're playing it, but they're not throwing it to him.
Kamara is on fire right now, and he's just you just got to go with the hot hand.
I can't really
But
contribute
he's
to this.
supposed to be like this, like
He is, but
he scored me 1.6 points last week, and
they
it
just
screwed me.
they went for a fast pass attack. The Saints did against the Rams, and that's Kamara, not Ingram.
We watched the highlights with you
We did.
on this game, and Josh goes. Ingram caught it and ran it for a yard. He goes, "There's your point.
Yep.
There's your 1 point."
Yeah.
So Josh,
Yeah.
your record is 1-8,
Yeah.
1-7.
Yeah. Whatever.
I've
I've lost
a theory
everything.
about this.
Go ahead.
So I think that you were so preoccupied at the draft with drafting her a good team, you were not able to really focus on your own team.
No.
So I think that you got dealt a bad hand, and you would actually be doing better if someone was able to draft her own team.
What did you have? Why were you gone?
She had that party.
Oh, I had a
Bachelorette
party to go to because I was kind of in a wedding.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah. So she
So
was.
that's what I think.
Well,
I do. I really wish I would have been able to pick my own team, but I do thank you for some of the.
you're
people I have.
saying that, but I don't know if I would have chosen any differently.
Maybe not, but you never know.
I could have drawn the thing differently.
Maybe.
Gotten my pick number differently.
Here's also another theory, and you probably won't like this one, but
Yeah.
the reason why I do so good, or that sounds bad.
Wow.
The reason why I've done better, I believe, this year is because that's what I do on Sunday. I watch football.
Yeah.
And I see, and especially watching the Red Zone, you're able to do this. I see who does well, and I see what matchups are working, what's not working, and I make adjustments to my team. So if you're not doing that, then you have less of a chance to do well.
Right.
So, I mean, and that's not a knock against you. That's just saying that is what works for me, and that's why I think that's benefited me this season.
You don't have. I'm gonna kind of. I hope this doesn't sound bad, but you don't have as busy of a hobby as I do.
Sure.
Like I can't focus on why my players should be doing better or who would be doing better this week or that week. I can't focus on all the sports players out there, all the teammates, everybody. I can't do that.
Okay.
I mean, like you don't do extracurricular activities outside of the podcast much.
No.
I mean, I know you're I'm not saying you're lazy, but that's all you do. See, me, I do a lot of extra video work. I'm always busy. I can't look into that kind of stuff. So, like, when people like you, Shane, Rick, and Joe all talk about sports, I'm sitting there like, go Vikings.
I watched some of the Vikings.
I watch the Vikings. They're my team. That's all I can really do.
I think a common denominator of fantasy football players is they pay attention to the entire each week, not just one team, what happens with one team, but what happens across the league.
Okay.
And that benefits. Maybe it benefits, maybe it doesn't. Maybe they think they know and they actually suck. But that's what I mean. They have a broad view of the happenings.
Right.
And that's all I have to say.
No, that's
that.
you.
And
You
that's
had,
all I
that was
got
a
to say
good.
about that.
That was a good. This is a good thing you mentioned there. Alex just shared our podcast on Twitter, and I'm retweeting it and I'm liking it.
Oh.
Ow.
Cool.
That hurt just a little bit.
Why don't you talk about your movies that you went and saw?
Yeah. So first of all, we went and saw Bohemian Rhapsody on Thursday, and we're gonna give our impressions. Kind of.
Can I go first?
Yeah. I have points of why I liked it and didn't like it.
So before you say,
yeah,
it's worth noting that critics loved it, audience loved it. Critics did not like it so much.
really,
Yeah.
It's kind of
Is
No,
it-
the reviews widespread were very critical.
Really?
Yes.
The ones that I read were like they, at least number wise, they were giving it between 7.5s and 8s, which I think is not necessarily critical.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is, and I heard this, is that the audience liked it more than the critics.
There you go.
Yeah, it's getting a 49% on Metacritic, 60% on Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes.
See?
Rotten Tomatoes.
I wasn't wrong.
I don't know which ones I was reading then. Maybe it was IGN. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Can I get my impression?
Yeah, you go ahead.
10 out of 10.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
take a nap.
sure you would.
10 out of 10. Freaking amazing movie.
Yeah.
Every time you looked over at me, what was I doing?
Watching the movie.
And
Not bothered by it.
I was smiling.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun movie.
I was smiling through the whole movie. I thought the actor, and I had it up.
Remy Malek.
Yes, thank you. Remy Malek. I have it right here. Yep. He is amazing. He
Yeah.
did an amazing job at capturing Freddie Mercury. And
Are you even Queen fans?
yes,
Like big Queen fans?
I like
I've
their
never
hits.
heard any one of you talk about Queen.
Because they're not
'Cause
playing.
I don't want to say they're not relevant. They're not.
They're not making
it?
taglines
It's not
until
like
right now.
they're popular right now. Well, I mean they're popular
They're,
right now.
Right
but,
now, they're probably making records because this movie, or making records.
but it's
selling
not like, oh my
records.
gosh, Queen just came out with a new album.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, like that's
Just
why.
pointing out an observation. I've known you all a long time.
Well, I didn't.
You've never professed your love for Queen, is all I'm saying.
I like their hits.
Okay.
No.
I don't know any of their not hits.
I like-
I mean, some of their hits I don't even know.
I like Queen a lot.
Yeah.
And to tell you the truth, that's the only record album that when my babysitter would come over, my dad's watching right now on YouTube, and he's gonna probably shed a tear here. But back in the day,
You still got some on your teeth.
well, they can't see it. I'm too far away. Anyways, back in the day when our babysitter would come over, my parents still had a record player.
Mhm.
And one of our favorite movies, my sister, my brother, and I, was Wayne's World.
Mhm.
And that has a lot to do with Wayne's World, if
Yes.
you're a fan, especially
Yep.
of the first movie. And because that's pretty much the opener. And we used to have our babysitter play my mom and dad's record on repeat,
Watch
pretty
what I
much.
did. Just trying to.
Oh, thanks, Josh. Zooming in on my teeth. Anyways,
That's all I could do.
That song, Bohemian Rhapsody itself, it means a lot. And growing up and hearing that music and all of the 80s and 70s music that's inspired by Queen, and how pretty much rock, and it's the way Freddie Mercury dressed, even like it wasn't really acceptable, and nobody else dressed like him, and acted and was flamboyant like he was. It was just kind of looked down upon, and now you see everybody else after that, like Bowie.
Yeah.
Like it's like he inspired the rest of these bands that we see as we're growing up, and the music. And just to see and how the band came together, and like I didn't know a lot of the backstory about Queen, and to watch this movie was like just makes me appreciate Queen even more.
Okay.
It's amazing.
My turn.
Oh, I don't think she's even started yet.
Oh, no. Oh, and by the way, the at the end of the movie, they go and do the Live Aid concert, which happened. I think it still is the biggest
Yeah,
concert.
I heard about this.
And they shot it like scene to scene.
I also heard that they filmed that first.
They did. They did
to
film it first.
See if Remy Malek could play it.
Yes, and I watched
Otherwise,
the
it was gonna
interview.
be a deal breaker.
I watched the interview with him, and it was either Kimmel or somebody, and he was talking about that, and he's like, so pretty much the next day when I got a call back, he's like, I was pretty much like, oh, okay, I'm thanking my lucky stars here.
Yeah.
All right. Do I get to
Your
go?
turn? Yeah,
All right.
go ahead.
So I'm going to give this an 8.5. Now, I do have some likes and dislikes about this film. Now,
wait. We're gonna have a problem
Why?
because we're not recording audio.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's okay. I can try to get it off of YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We're really
It's
not.
been a rough week for me, so yeah, we're really not.
Oh, no.
You could start recording it.
You
Oh.
want me to start
No,
recording it?
don't worry about it. I'll
Okay.
get it off of YouTube. I'll
It'll be
download
the
it.
one and only podcast ever that is only in video form.
Yeah, yeah.
All
I
right,
mean, but we
especially
will
for
release
you.
it. We will release it in audio form. I will download it from YouTube, and I'll put it in MP3 format. So
Okay.
Cool.
Anyways, let's go back.
Sorry.
it happens. Mistakes were made. So what I liked about this film is I liked how they showed songs becoming them, like how they portrayed, how they invented the "we will rock you," and how. But that's not all necessarily true.
No, but it's a movie,
right?
So it makes it fun.
It really embellished the truth.
It took something gritty and did not make it gritty. Is
Right,
what I heard.
exactly. Yes. So it made it very shiny,
Yeah.
very well lit, and gave you an idea of like, hey, this is how easy it is to get famous. And that's one of my dislikes.
And that's not how I took the movie. Just to let you know, like
Okay.
that's not how I looked at it.
Well, I'm gonna keep going here. So what I also liked, I liked the emotion in the concerts, like especially the performances that were mimicked. The main character, everybody did an excellent
The
job.
whole band.
Acting very well. I mean, it's not like I know Freddie Mercury. It's not like I know Queen. It's not like I know exactly how everything should have came out. But yeah, they mimicked how it was in the 80s, you know.
And 70s.
Yeah. You get a feeling of how fame can cause great loneliness. I mean, Freddie Mercury's portrayal was, I felt bad for the character many, many times due to the fact that going down the wrong path, and that's kind of the rock star life.
Mm-hmm.
So,
especially when you get as famous as quickly and
mm-hmm.
as they did,
yeah,
and then just coming together and realizing they talk about multiple times how Freddie Mercury joined the band pretty much on accident.
Now that's not how he joined.
Is it not?
No.
Okay, well I don't know the whole
He actually
backstory.
went to college with the singer of the band, and then he just the singer left, and he just became.
That's kind of how they.
No,
they didn't really point
rushed
that out,
that
but
kind
yeah,
of stuff.
they needed to get to the bigger points,
Yeah.
but yeah. But how they're all different. They went to school for different subjects, and they touch base on that multiple times in the movie. Like one was gonna go for electrical and engineering or something.
Mm-hmm.
One was gonna go for neuro. Something.
Yes. Mike Myers is in the movie.
Yes. So and this is hilarious because he has a really decent part.
Yes, he does.
Prevalent part in the movie.
And you didn't find him.
And
you didn't spot him.
He was he had so much different.
Like Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, except you could tell that was Tom Cruise.
You could tell this was Mike Myers.
After he took the sunglasses off.
No, I knew the whole time.
No, I did not know that.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, that's Mike Myers.
What is hilarious that if you go and you see this movie is there is a tagline that references back to, and it's hilarious. It's perfect for the people like me that grew up with Wayne's World.
Mm-hmm.
It taglines Wayne's World, and Mike Myers says it. His character says it. And I don't want to ruin it for you. Just go see the movie, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when it happens.
One other thing I disliked about this film, and then we'll get off of Bohemian Rhapsody here. I did not like how the rest of the band was just, they were portrayed pretty side character-ish. I couldn't tell you who the guy was. Not the blonde guy, not the guy with the mullet, the other guy with the fro. No idea who he is. Apparently he's in Queen.
Just because they cut their hair and they changed their looks.
No, I didn't even know. What's his name? What are their names?
I don't know the
exactly.
names of the band. I know Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, they don't give you enough story to know.
She's really bad at movie
Yes,
names.
and I'm really, really bad at names.
These are band members. You should have known them for years. They're not introducing new characters here.
Okay. And
Good point.
the band that is tattooed on my wrist is one of the only bands I can name every freaking name. So there you go. Anyways.
That's not entirely true. Who's the singer of Johnny Cash?
That's not it's not a collective band. It's he's the
he's
the name.
I'm proving a point here.
Anyways, it was about this movie.
It was
more
about
of a
Freddie Mercury.
documentary,
That's all it was.
like more of a I want to say a documentary, more like a
Get it off your
biopic. It's the
Is
second
that what it's
highest
called?
selling biopic
Biopic.
of all time.
Selling,
or
you mean opening.
Opening.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Behind Straight Outta Compton.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's what I was reading.
Get that off of your.
Is it bad?
Yeah. There
You
go.
can name all the Beatles.
Don't put me on the spot.
You can't name the
You can't
Beatles?
name the Beatles?
Ringo.
Go ahead.
What's his last name?
Star.
Okay.
John, Paul.
What's John's last name?
I don't know.
Oh my
What?
God, you don't know the most
Yes, you do.
famous Beatles last name?
John Lennon.
Oh my gosh! Like you guys are like, I'm like, Leonard, what are you trying to say here? You totally screwed me up. Yeah, John Lennon, Paul McCartney,
Uh-huh.
Ringo Starr. Hold on, John,
There's one more.
Paul.
Nobody-
George?
George
George.
what?
I don't know George.
Harrison.
Harrison?
Yeah.
See? All right. See? I'm
Yeah.
all right. I'm
Close.
all right.
Do
Just
you know the Beach Boys?
No.
I
Nobody
know-
cares enough about the Beach Boys.
Oh, wrong. Beach Boys are big.
I can't believe I didn't say John
We're
Lennon.
big.
That just like hurts me
Yeah.
inside.
I mean, yeah, but they are big. We're big. Whatever you
Yeah.
want to say, Beach Boys are a big deal.
All right, we're not catering
We
to
got
the
a
Beach
couple-
Boys fans
Hey,
out there.
you talked about Queen.
Oh,
I want to talk about the Beach
do
Boys.
they have a movie?
They have.
Do they? A
They've had
biopic?
A couple. Yeah, they had one for TV.
Really?
That was like ABC aired it. I want to say like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It was a 2-night event.
Oh, okay.
It was like a 2-hour with advertisements, of
Yeah.
course. But a 2-hour. It was actually really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew about that.
By the way, Josh,
Yeah.
the person that with the fro.
Yeah.
That's Brian May. He's the guitarist.
Is that your dad? I can't hardly say
Yes.
the name.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know. I knew.
Now you know.
I was like, the more you know.
A big star.
And
Anyways,
then we
let's
went
move on.
we went and saw Halloween on Sunday.
Mhm.
Now, you didn't want to go
Right.
because
It's my first year really of feeling Halloween fatigue.
so you're letting I hate to say
Yeah,
this.
you really busted my balls.
Yeah,
for
you're
this.
letting a holiday ruin the ability to go see a movie.
Maybe
Yeah.
the actual holiday is in the title.
Yes.
You don't want to go see Halloween after Halloween?
No, I don't.
So when Halloween comes out, you have to wait till Halloween to watch it.
No,
According to you.
no. I just because my fatigue will have been over.
So, okay.
Will have ran its course.
All right. I mean, we can argue back and forth on this as much as possible, but we went and saw it.
First of all, did I make you go see Predator? Do I ever make you guys go watch movies?
You can't make anybody do anything.
That's my point. I didn't bust your balls for not wanting to go see Predator, and stop looking at him like you're not part of this.
I was looking at you.
You're sitting here going,
She does the back and forth. I don't know
Uh-huh.
if you realize that.
so.
Yeah.
I just thought that you were going to go and you didn't go, and I was surprised by that.
I was too.
Yeah, I just.
So there you go.
know,
That's
had
my
we-
opinion.
Had we gone, I should have went. It's hard for the three of us to find a time at the $5 window, which is when we wanted to see this.
Yes.
And to where we're all good with it. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. We
I
went on
should have went the
Sunday.
week after I saw Predator, which was like the first or second week in October.
Yeah, we would have gone.
And I just didn't. I just didn't
Yeah.
make it.
But we went. It was good. It was a good sequel.
Yeah.
And we've kind of already spoken to you about this when we saw you on Monday, but I liked it. I really did. I'm going to give this a 9
Wow.
for how good it was. I like the intensity, how you feel for each victim. You know, every stab felt like rough, gruesome. You could feel that.
There's a part where he's pretty much, he puts the mask on and he's just walking through the neighborhood
Just
on Halloween, going into house to house, and people are just out trick-or-treating, and he's going in house and just killing people, and then walking out, like you see it through his like point of view or the camera right behind him, just how nobody knows because it's Halloween. You
Yep.
hear people scream, you don't
Sure.
know.
Did
Yeah.
they give any backstory?
Yes.
They absolutely did.
Okay.
Yep. And then they phased away all the other sequels.
They phased away all the other
that's
sequels.
good,
There
then.
was a part kind of towards the beginning where they're actually walking down like that same sidewalk where
Yeah,
Lori and
yeah.
her friend were walking down at the beginning of the movie.
Mhm.
And they say in this movie, one of the friends is talking to the girl, one of the main characters in the movie, which is her granddaughter, I guess, Lori's granddaughter.
Yes.
And the guy had said something like, isn't it true that he got like his head chopped off one time, but he came back, like
Probably.
just referencing something from like one of the middle
Yeah.
movies, and she
So
goes, "No, that's a bunch of myths."
All the sequels were just myths.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Urban
it was a really
legend or
good, like, I was
whatever.
like, oh, hey, well, because I was wondering, what are they gonna do about all of, like the stuff in the middle that happened?
Mhm.
Well, apparently it didn't happen in this movie.
Yeah. He
He got caught. He was locked up.
he was portrayed as a more angry and supernatural villain than just a stalker.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was. You see his face, and like many times you see corners of his face, and you see
Teases.
his hands, the anger in it. I mean, that's how you have to act. And wow,
Like you see him as a human, but like other. In the first Halloween, you don't see him as a human. He's
No.
just more of a thing.
So what you're describing is exactly how your dad felt
Oh
in
my God! Don't do this because he's
1978
on.
watching the original Halloween. Eh, Jeff?
Stop.
You know I'm right. You know it.
Okay, but I didn't feel the way that they feel about that movie, about this movie.
Who?
What?
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't feel the way that he did about the original Halloween about the new Halloween. Like, it was like the first Halloween movie was like, oh my God. It's just a never before seen kind of villain.
Okay.
So
And
they had to
then
work up
they
for
had to
this
work,
one, kind
but
of.
this one was like just seeing Halloween for the first time and then seeing the new Halloween. I made me appreciate, here you go, Patrick, made me appreciate the first Halloween for what it is.
Okay.
It really does. It really takes you back and you're like, oh, because they reference back to the first movie a lot.
Sure.
You really do need to see the first movie to watch this one.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, or if you haven't seen it in a while, I highly recommend it.
I do like the role reversals they did with Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers. Like, they had her standing outside the school of her granddaughters instead of Michael Myers standing out there. You
Yes.
saw that
Oh.
Like
reversal.
shot where she's sitting in class and she looks
Yeah,
out
yeah.
the
Same
window.
desk.
Same desk, same room, and then she looks out and it's Lori instead of
Sure.
it's
Instead of Michael Myers.
Why
so there's a
was-
lot of callbacks.
Why was she standing looking in the school?
That's,
It was just more of a
well, I'll give you a little bit of story. The Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter hates her mother.
Okay.
Because when she had her, all she did her entire childhood was learn how to shoot a gun and
Sure.
defend herself and all this stuff. And so she had a kid, tried to keep her away from Jamie Lee Curtis's character. So
Jamie
the only
Lee Curtis is like the crazy old lady.
yes,
Gotcha.
she's the paranoid, crazy,
Grandma.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
It does.
Honestly, for
So all they did was basically say, hey, Halloween 1, this is what happened, and it goes to here where she has a freaking safe house.
Yeah.
Where, holy cow.
she's like a doomsdayer.
yes.
Yeah. The last scene of Halloween, oh my God.
It's great.
No music, her with a
Nothing.
gun, walking through a dark house.
Oh
It's
my
just-
God.
Do they leave it open for a
They
night?
can.
They can and they can't.
Yeah, I mean, take it how you
Surprise
want.
me if they did because it made a lot of money
Yeah.
and the budget was relatively low.
Now,
I believe.
Do we want it to have another one?
It felt pretty final,
I think that it would be good just to be done.
but
with
it's
it.
Hollywood.
It's Hollywood.
They might
Exactly.
sequel
Now,
If
Jamie
it
Lee
makes
Curtis.
money.
So here's you see the start of Jamie Lee Curtis's career and the acting in Halloween.
Oh, how bad it is.
Oh sure.
And then in
how
this
under
one-
budget that movie was. And then you see 40 years later,
40 years of acting experience.
She
you
was
can just
good.
see how much practice makes perfect.
Sure.
Like, she is so good in this movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
This
You
kind of
gave it a what?
I gave it a 9.
I don't know if I give it an. I'd probably give it an 8.
Yeah. I this made me excited to hopefully, if they ever do it, make a sequel to True Lies.
Mm-hmm.
Because seeing Jamie Lee Curtis on the silver screen again,
It's nice.
it was
She's
a
great
different
actress.
feeling. Different feeling. I'm not I never saw True Lies in theaters, but I'm saying like
Right.
Jamie Lee Curtis, she belongs on the screen.
Now, was this movie scary, Josh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think in a way, yeah, it was scary. There's not there's jump scares. Yeah, there's lots of gore.
oh.
Oh God, the first movie was stupid.
Okay.
Stupid
so
compared to this
I'm
movie.
surprised Alex is not going into a huge
I'm,
rant.
I'm waiting for that time. I'm waiting.
She's gonna
I'm gonna rip
yell.
some butt here in a second.
Yes.
About Halloween.
Nope.
No, about
No.
the audience.
Not the audience watching Halloween.
Okay.
But
Wait
anyways,
a minute. You went on Sunday in the afternoon, right?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. What theater?
Regal.
Regal. Pick your seats.
Don't. No, it's not funny.
It's a little bit funny.
Okay, all right. We also have
For
a
the-
comment
Okay.
that you've been waiting for.
Cool.
Who do you
Oh.
think it's from?
Probably your dad. I can kind of see.
He says, "Yo, Brett, yes, the first movie scared the pee out of me."
Okay.
So, anyways, so Halloween, great movie. Go see it. All right.
Wait,
let's-
for the record, before you tell the theater story, this is the theater that I don't hate it, but it's not the theater I usually go to.
Is there a reason why?
I just don't. To me, and I've said this before, the kicked back setting that theater provides is not the way that I want to watch a movie that I've never seen before.
Okay.
Go hurt your back
Jeez.
Okay.
Wow.
in a non direct way.
hey, accidentally hurt your back.
Hey, go accidentally.
Just
hurt your
because
back.
you don't like the nice chairs.
No, the nice chairs are good for us old people
Okay.
I love. You
With-
just basically made a commercial right there.
with back problems
That was
and
actually
neck problems.
Alex being really nasty.
All right, well, I'm about to be really nasty.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so here we go. Movie experience. Here's the deal. I'm gonna rip on parents.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I know I'm not a parent, but I was raised properly, in my opinion.
First of all, this movie is rated R.
And it's
for
rated R for a
gore,
very good
nudity, language, intense scenes,
Sexual
sexual content.
scenes.
Yeah.
Like everything a rated R movie is supposed to have,
A horror
it has
movie.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Severe cussing, lots of gore, frightening images.
Get on with it. What happened?
So we get into the movie and we're sitting down, right?
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
A seat over. Mother comes in, brings 2 children under the age of 10.
Wow.
That's
Wait.
not it.
Oh.
The seats in front of us don't have parents. They're sitting up behind us, but the movie theater's not full.
Yeah.
They let their 3 children under the age of 10, I'm talking
Oh,
like
you can tell they were
you
very
can
young.
even younger than 10. I'm talking like youngest probably 6. Looked
Yeah.
like my nephew.
Yep.
I'd probably say 6, 8, and 10.
Okay.
Watching this movie alone.
Halloween.
So-
Halloween.
Most of the movie, the people next to us, the woman and her 2 children kept, Mom, I want more popcorn. Mom, this, Mom, that, talking. Mom, I'm going to go sit in the front row.
Yep.
Mom, I'm going to go sit in the back row. Mom will be right back. Getting up and walking around. So that just disturbed the crap out of me. Mom's on her phone 24/7
Well,
texting.
you gotta assume, they were drugged to this movie. They
Pro-
didn't wanna see
no,
this
she
movie.
wasn't watching the movie. She was
So,
on her phone.
it
the
She
was-
whole
was on her
time.
phone.
It was probably more of a, I need to get the kids out of the house.
Go see Smallfoot.
Go see.
I don't know.
Pretty much, it was like my reaction at work when I saw. I was like, "This is not Shrek." I'm like, so. Anyways, so it was. Yes, I had an issue with them. The bigger issue were the kids in front.
Uh-huh.
We finally get and it's built me up because I'm a very patient person.
You'd like to think you are.
I'm a very patient person, and I hold
Yeah,
a
don't
lot
unplug
of.
that. This is our only audio source.
I hold a lot of my rage in.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Until I lash out afterwards.
Did you lash out afterwards?
No, I lashed out during. Does not
you
happen.
you
She
yelled
left the
during
theater.
movie?
Yeah.
She left the theater to go
I
talk
left-
to a
So I left. So
usher.
middle of the movie, the build has creeped up to hit its peak now, and the peak is.
She got up before she didn't even put her foot thingy down.
I
She
didn't-
got up.
I got up and stomped the F out of the theater. So these kids, it's finally the reunion, a big point, like the escalation point of the movie where the reunion of Lori and Michael are finally seeing each other, at least knowing in the same area.
And you missed it.
No.
No, you didn't miss
These
anything.
kids just start laughing and talking and not letting you hear what's going on, and they're distracting. And I was like, "That fucking it!" And I just I got up. I didn't even tell Josh where I was going, and I stomped the F out of there. Went up to the front desk, and I actually cursed.
I honestly didn't care.
I freaking cursed at the front desk. I was like, these effing kids, they shouldn't be. I felt like an adult. I was like, these kids should not be in this movie theater. I know that I'm not like.
So, but what did they do about it?
They said, unfortunately, unless they are being violent, all we can do for the remainder of the movie is do a couple walkthroughs, and if they are being disruptive, we can ask them to leave.
Yeah.
That's all they can do.
Did they do the walkthrough?
Yes.
Okay.
And guess what? After I stomped out of there and then came back, they shut their freaking mouths.
So, were you happy with that response?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I think I should have gotten a free ticket.
Were you wearing your "Can I talk to your manager" haircut?
How
No.
can she wear it if she isn't cut?
My point is,
I had my
were
face
you
on.
like that? Are you? I don't even.
No,
know
I
how
went
I'm-
out there
what
as
I'm
like
What
a-
are you trying to
here.
say?
I
here?
went
I
out
think
there
I'm
as
gonna
like
be
a pissed
insulting,
off
so-
30-year-old
Insulting
woman.
what?
That was like, these
that
kids should
type
not.
of customer that we have seen in our careers.
Yeah.
That I want to talk to a manager and I deserve this and this and this because this is happening.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
I don't think I was more like that. I was more like, get on my level, and you know that these kids should not be in this movie. Get them the hell out.
What can they do? They're with an
They
adult.
paid admission.
Okay, and back in the day, this
No.
we had this-
All
right, we had
You
this
would have to be
conversation-
with an adult.
Okay, we had a conversation at work. Back in the day, you had to try to sneak, even with a parent.
No.
A parent.
No,
No.
it's parental consent.
I think
Okay,
that
parental
you are.
consent, but it was very.
No.
Okay, here's the deal. here's the deal. Here in Fort Wayne, this is what I remember growing up. Even to get into a PG-13 movie, you had the person at the kiosk saying, "Are these kids of age? If not, they have to be with you." And they made sure, hey, they have to be with you.
With them.
No.
It's not, you can't buy these tickets and let the kids go in. You have to be with them.
They were with them.
I'm trying to tell you something.
Okay.
Let me go.
Let me go.
And then if it was rated R, if I looked like I was taking my 6-year-old into a rated R movie, they would be questioned back then. 15 years ago, yes. You would be questioned. Like,
I don't think...
they would say, hey, this movie is rated R.
Alex, you must have gone to some weird theaters because PG-13 I went to when I was like 10, 9.
Even if. So
it was strict.
So what? So what is? I don't understand your point.
You can just buy your freaking tickets online now and walk in like nobody's business and just be like, "All right, kids, go take a seat."
The end result is still all the people you mentioned in the theater.
But you're not getting that interaction of, "Oh, should I not be taking my kids to this movie?"
People don't care what the movie theater employee has to say.
No,
not anymore.
They didn't back then, probably.
No.
Okay, more or less.
Parental consent trumps all at the movie theater.
I don't consider yourself a freaking parent at that time.
It doesn't matter.
If you're taking your child, these kids should not be. All right, there's a part in the movie where they actually flash
back. I
back.
The water up here.
They flash back to the movie.
Do you want me to go grab some? I can go grab some water.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, be right back.
They flash.
Alex is on a rant here. You guys have fun.
They flash back to the scene at the very beginning of the first Halloween, and they show you the part where the babysitter gets stabbed and she's naked.
Okay.
So that's graphic. You've got a knife going in and out of her chest. She lays down, and you've got a 6-year-old watching this.
But your point is invalid.
To a point, yes. I'm saying, do you agree with me that little kids should not be watching this movie?
Yeah, but that's not even the argument that you're making.
I'm saying that movie theaters need to be more strict, is what I'm
saying.
No,
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
It needs to be.
So, I guess that's all is out. I mean, I understand how frustrating it is being in the movie theater with all that happening. And yeah,
it was as if I was watching 50 Shades of Grey with 6-year-olds around me.
No,
that's what it felt like.
But it's well, I don't know. I haven't seen 50 Shades of Grey, but I'm pretty sure there's a huge difference between 50 Shades of Grey and Halloween. Thank you, Josh.
What's happening here? You're comparing 50 Shades?
No, I said that's what it felt like. Like during like the scenes where there was nudity, it's like, dude, my nephew is like sitting next to me watching this movie with me.
Well, it's nothing they hadn't seen before when they were younger.
You know what I mean?
I know.
You should, and these are the kids that are growing up. These are the kids that are going to be taking care of us when we get older.
Not them.
Every generation has stuff happening to them when you're like, oh, that's the next generation of adults. We're screwed.
You got to wave your finger at them like, don't do that.
Every generation.
Every generation.
You're desensitizing them and confusing about sex and violence mixing together.
It's been happening for generations. You ever hear of something called Woodstock? You know what happened at Woodstock?
Sex.
Lots of sex.
And
having
drugs.
sex.
Well,
I hope it was someone very special.
All right, can we get out of this rabbit hole of emotions here?
It's going nowhere.
Dad says, my daughter just grew up. You go, girl.
Yeah,
that's what I felt like. I was like, that's it. There was. It also takes this is what my 6-year-old boss said. You know what? It takes the fun out of
6-year-old boss.
6D.
Oh, okay.
She said 6.
My 6-year-old boss said.
Hearing
he said it also.
Here.
He's like, in a way, for the children, it also takes the fun out of trying to sneak into these movies when you're younger. Versus like, oh, just go over to Josh's house. He'll take you to a rated R movie.
Don't. I won't do that.
They don't put the name of the movie above the doors.
They do it Regal.
They do it Regal.
But some don't to try to
deter.
Yes, from theater skipping.
Yeah, hopping, which I've never done.
Never done it.
Me neither.
No.
So
yeah.
I'm saying I'm an adult and kids are stupid and parents are stupid.
Well,
and I will not take my less than teenager to that kind of a movie.
For as long as I've been alive, no theater is going to tell a parent you can't take that 6-year-old kid in to see a rated
unless it's
R movie.
NC-17.
I said that they would question it.
That's the only one.
But you can question a fern and it's not going to answer. Who cares if
where did you get fern from?
I just came up with a random object.
In this society now, you can't express your opinion verbally. It's all via text. and hiding behind a computer. If I was that person ringing them out, like, things have changed these days where people have probably gotten mad and said, hey, I need you to talk to your employee. They just questioned why I'm taking my 6-year-old to a rated R movie even though I'm allowed to.
Very, a very likely situation.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, why are you telling me what to do?
Okay. So
I think I was raised properly. That's all.
With this movie, it didn't really feel like it remade the genre of Halloween or the genre, the brand. It felt like a new thing. But I'm gonna segue into some other stuff here. I have some movie announcements and some movie news that's really interesting here. Illumination, they want to remake Shrek.
Yeah, saw that.
But they kind of want to just sequel it, kind of like what they did with like Scream 4 and this Halloween movie. Kind of like revamping
take out
it.
the middle.
Yeah, kind of in a sense like they want to make it right. Is what they're saying. I don't know what that means.
I liked Shrek 1 and 2. Everything else.
What about the other ones?
The other ones were just crap.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting news. They want to keep the same voice cast, so that's good. That'd be good if they did. But this is some other interesting news that I found out today. They are in the production, just started in July, of Breaking Bad.
I saw that. Oh, dang it. That was in my phone to talk about.
As a movie.
A movie.
And the way it's going to be is it's going to talk about after Jesse. Spoiler alert for a. How long
I think
is
you're
show?
fine. I think you're
5
fine.
years.
It's been at least 5.
If you haven't seen Breaking Bad, sorry.
You're fine.
After Jesse leaves the campus.
Yes.
So it's going to take place after that. So they're saying
What
probably
happens
not going to
next?
have Walter White in this, but then again, we might get an answer of whether or not he's dead.
Sure.
Now, they're not sure if this is going to be made for TV or if this is going to be made for an actual feature film. But Breaking Bad, finally getting the extra
See, if they
that we
make it a
want.
movie, I think it'll do better.
Yeah.
TV, I just, you know what, these days, I don't know.
TV movies aren't that bad.
Yeah.
You're just saying the documentary that you watched about the Beach Boys wasn't bad, but that's a documentary. That's not acting. Biop. But anyways, like that's pretty exciting news, especially for those who are a fan of the genre. I'm very excited for that. Yeah, that's all I have to really say about that news. It's really exciting. They haven't really announced anything else about it. So.
But I did see that today.
Yeah.
It got me kind of excited.
Do you guys want to hit our list?
I have movie news.
Do you really?
Oh yeah.
Mike Myers talked about I think he said there's going to be an Austin Powers 4.
What?
Oh, we also have more movie news. Bad Boys.
Oh, but Josh doesn't like that.
I didn't say I didn't like that. I said that
You hinted at it.
What did I say?
Didn't he?
He did.
What did I say?
He said the hype is over.
Yep.
It's going to be crap.
Yep.
I did say that.
I did say that. And you know what? The hype was not over because when I watched that video of those two, I was like,
and
yeah.
It got a lot of views and stuff.
I said, wow, hype for that movie is gone now. It's going to be terrible.
So pretty much. Pretty close. Yes, I'm excited.
I'm not excited, but when it's out,
we'll see.
I'll probably go see it.
But the thing is, you just saw the two main characters on set recording together saying this is happening. It's going.
Right.
That's the most confirmation we've ever gotten because we were talking about this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think
it's been a kind of a running internet fake joke thing.
Yeah.
We also said that about Breaking Bad. For the longest time, we're like, they should make a movie. What happens after?
I don't ever remember you hearing
this
that.
was years
This
ago.
was years ago.
This is
Okay.
We
because
haven't brought up Breaking Bad.
You
in a
hate the
while.
show. You're not thinking about it.
I don't hate the show.
You didn't like it.
I liked it.
He didn't like it as
It's
much
just
as
not.
we did.
It's not one that I want to rewatch over and over.
Okay.
It's not ever going to be that.
I don't
for
know.
me.
I'm not really interested in rewatching it now. That I'm just like I'm kind of on other shows now.
Honestly, I was gonna ask if you wanted to restart it.
Well,
That's one show that is just it's so addicting. I know how it ends, but
Well,
it's like it's addicting to
I've
watch, just like The Office.
I've said
Yeah.
it before that your Breaking Bad is my Sons of Anarchy.
but
In the sense that you can watch it over and over.
would you
like
say
I-
that Better Call Saul is a really good spinoff as far as The Mayans is a good spinoff to Sons?
Well, I don't know because I haven't watched Better Call Saul and I haven't watched The Mayans. I watched the first episode.
I heard that the season ending for Mayans was good.
Yeah.
I saw the
I need
review.
to. It's on demand on Sling. I just need to watch it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that reminds me, real quick. I watched Jack Ryan on Amazon.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
John
Talking
Krasinski,
about
Jack
this.
Ryan.
Yep.
It's friggin' awesome.
It's
So if
good.
you
Really?
have Prime, watch it.
Yeah.
Eight
Well,
episodes.
I
And
do
if you have
like-
Prime,
I said I do like him.
if you have Prime,
He's like him and Pratt. They're like my favorite actors right now.
if you have Prime,
If you have
can
Prime,
you can sub to Alex's Twitch channel
Yes, I know.
for free.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a spot.
I was wondering where that came up from. I'm like, we're not talking about Twitch right now.
He's talking about Prime. Amazon owns Twitch.
Hey, if you'd like to subscribe
was
to
a-
me for free on Twitch,
it was a-
twitch.tv/cute_kitty.
It was a cheap plug off of my
I was trying.
actual plug.
God.
Bing, there you go.
No, but really, it was good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we can move on.
So is John Krasinski good?
Yeah,
like
he's real good.
His acting. I want to watch A Quiet
Is
Place.
he-
too.
And
Is he topless at all?
yeah, a lot. And
Stop it.
this show was there's nudity and there was f-bombs.
Well, it's Amazon.
Is John
You
Krasinski?
They have
just
to.
don't-
They have
And
to.
an episodic thing, you just don't expect that right off the bat.
What did you say?
No, he wasn't nude. You can see the side of his ass, I think,
Full ass or half ass?
like a profile,
Like
his hip,
palm grasping.
Like palm
not
grasping,
palm grasping, hip.
like side boob, but side
Side
butt,
cheek.
Yes,
Side cheek.
but full butt, full side butt.
yes.
Side cheek.
All right.
Side cheek.
Side cheek, I guess so.
Was he topless as well?
He was in the shower, so yes.
Oh, so there's a shower scene, Alex.
Oh, so it's like Will Smith in
iRobot.
iRobot.
iRobot. That's a great scene.
Except who showers without a shower curtain? Honestly.
Honestly, who showers?
I don't get who showers with a clear shower curtain. That's another thing.
Well, a lot of showers have glass doors that are clear.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but they have like a.
No,
No.
not all.
I
There's
don't know if I've
there's
showered
a-
in a shower
There's
that has a
well,
complete
it's,
clear.
It's kind of like a luxurious thing. Like if you go to
Oh,
mansions.
the
and stuff.
hotel in Chicago.
Yeah.
That was the first time we had used a shower, and it was like,
Did we ever talk about what we had to do?
no, we're not going to.
Oh,
Okay.
shouldn't say it like that.
No, no, but the shower was the first time we ever showered, and it was a completely see-through glass. Versus like, there's usually at least if it's see-through, it's like from
It's like frosted or
frosted
something.
from like your head down
Yes.
or your head, your chin down.
Your head down. You can't see
Shoulder down.
anything. Well, Alex, with your height.
Anywho,
Anyways,
Yeah. So that's some movie news. Very exciting stuff. Where do you guys want to do our big meat of the episode?
well, I'm estimating that we're about 50 minutes in.
That hasn't been turned back.
No, but the minutes still work the same.
We're 55 in. Yes, you're very close. So we do top fives on this show of our own impressions or thoughts of whatever. We're doing a top five today. Top 5 remakes that should never be done, and top 5 remakes that should be done. Things that you think could be done better, especially in today's day and age with the technology from movies that are old, or they might have just written it wrong. So I wanted to do this a couple weeks ago, and then you guys said you needed some time. I gave you time. What?
I've had time.
Yeah. So Brett, you want to start?
Well, here's the thing.
Go ahead.
I don't really like remakes. So it's hard for me to say what movies do you want remade, because the ones that could be remade because the technology is better
Mm-hmm.
is close to are the ones that made an impression on me,
Yeah.
you know? So like the lists are top 5 you want remade and the ones you don't want
Don't
to
touch.
touch.
Don't touch.
So
Yeah, no touchy.
No.
I can do the no touches, but I don't know if there's really anything that I want remade.
Once we start listing off some stuff, I'm sure you're gonna
Maybe
have at
it'll
least a
pop
couple.
up.
I guess I'll
but-
start then.
I get
Yeah.
annoyed when I hear something's going to be remade because
Yeah.
to me it just says to me nobody wants to take a chance
None
with
of
this
this-
with a screenplay, and they don't want to try something new,
You're right.
so they go back to something that sold well 20 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And they a director tries to put his spin on the same story.
Right.
So I get
See-
why they do it. I just don't like it as much.
I didn't
Yeah.
necessarily pick movies that did very well,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
ones that possibly did bad
Yeah.
and but had potential but did bad and should possibly just be redone to see if it'd make it any better.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna start. First movie that I think should be remade. Now, Alex, you're gonna hate me on this one.
These are movies you think should
They
be?
they could do it.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with the remake, and then I'm gonna do the don'ts.
Okay.
So the remakes, Clue. I think they could redo it pretty well.
I don't know. I'm not going to hate you on that one. I can see because that actually is a very old
It's
movie.
old.
It's an old movie,
I've
and
never seen it.
you could make it.
It's funny.
It's
Slapstick.
slapstick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you would enjoy it. It's Tim Curry.
Yeah. It's
And Christopher
it's-
Lloyd.
It holds up to about our generation though.
Yeah.
After that,
Well, I wouldn't say it doesn't hold. It's kind of timeless, but
that's what I mean. But the timeless part's actually starting.
it's starting to
kinda-
shrink.
It's starting to fade. It's a movie that you think is timeless, but it's
Yeah.
starting to fade.
My next movie is The Outsiders.
The Outsiders. Is that the
It's the gang one where
Yeah.
it's the
Oh,
You've
Greasers
seen
versus
that.
the what was the? It's not the Jocks, is it? It's Greasers versus the.
I don't know.
I know some of the characters. I've seen the
Yeah.
movie. I've read the book. It could definitely be done.
Is
I
that
know.
Is that the one that you had to read in college?
Yeah, no, not in college, in high school.
High
Or no,
school?
middle school. But the movie is star-studded. Emilio Estevez, Charlie Sheen,
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze,
I've never
Matt
seen The
Dillon?
Outsiders.
Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon. Yes, maybe. Yeah,
I can see the cover. 'Cause
Yeah, like
they're
I can see
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm not thinking of not the Lost Boys.
That's one of them too.
Warriors.
Never saw the Warriors. I heard that's good.
What's one with the train tracks?
Stand by me.
Stand by Me. Thank you. See, that's all I had to say was like you know what I'm talking about. 'Cause
Oh, that was River Phoenix.
that's
Will Wheaton,
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Will
Jerry
Wheaton.
O'Connell, Corey Feldman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or
There
no,
you go.
yeah, Feldman.
and you've seen that movie, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think The Outsiders could be redone pretty well. At least a new generation, better filming. This next one is kind of near and dear, but Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Mm.
I know Rick Moranis is he's the guy, but if they want something that can be done in today's day and age with good technology, they could make this movie good.
You know who I could see replacing?
Rick Moranis, Ed Helms.
Ed Helms. Yeah.
Wow.
I was gonna say Ed Helms. Oh.
How did- Bump.
And you know who's gonna play the neighbor dad?
Al?
No, Richard Karn. No, he's too old. No, I don't.
I don't know.
Dwayne Johnson.
That would be funny. And I could see Dwayne Johnson in
yeah,
this movie.
Actually, I could. It
Yeah.
could be a Dwayne Johnson
Because
movie.
it's kind of it'd be kind of like Jumanji.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, it wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
No, it's,
No.
That was
I
a
really
good
like
movie.
I mean, I know you don't like Charlie Day, but he could do it too.
No.
Because Charlie Day is a doofus.
No.
But
don't know
I
if
think,
could see him doing. that.
or Jason Bateman,
Sure.
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, because
Maybe. Ed Helms definitely has to play the role of the dad, though.
yeah.
Yeah. Needs to.
Next one, The Indian in the Cupboard.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's we watched this recently. It's
it's
bad.
difficult.
It's bad.
It's very difficult.
Cringe.
I've only seen it once, and it was I don't know, 20 years ago.
First of all, the kid who plays the main character, Omri, where's he today? One hit wonder on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think they could do it. But the technology when this came out in the 90s, good. It looked good.
Yeah,
it still looks good.
It looks great
Still
for a
looks good.
90s film.
But you can tell the fake parts. You can
Yeah.
feel, you can see the there's no
but
weight.
it's seriously, that movie made your imagination like just go wild as a child. Like
Yeah.
I used to take like my jewelry boxes and stick my like little figurines in there
And try to
and try to see if they come to life. Like 'cause it's just like that's what the movie's supposed to do to you as a child.
spark your imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then you pretend that they're alive. Yeah. I mean,
I could see it, especially in today's day and age. You can get properties for this movie. Like people do a lot of product placements and stuff.
Mhm.
Like especially for like you can get Mattel on board and sell.
Yeah.
You can come up with a new figurine and sell that. I mean, I could see this movie getting the proper boost it needs.
yeah.
My last one that I think needs a remake is Doom. Now,
Have you even seen Doom?
yeah,
It needs to be done
Bad.
better.
yeah.
But
It's probably one of
It's
the worst
also-
video game movies.
it's also a video game movie. They're not. They just don't.
So think of that, like video game movies that you think could be redone better. I mean, Doom is one especially. They
Yes, but
took a premise and screwed it up.
they
bad.
just they never work usually.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, they've been floppy.
Yeah.
So that's my remake list. I don't know if you want to me to.
I can do it.
You want to do the remake list? Let's do our remakes first. And
Yeah.
so what's yours?
I'm pulling mine up here because I've got I'm monitoring YouTube as well. So I have got, for the ones that I think should be remade, Super Mario Brothers.
Now,
We just
Alex,
talked about this.
Alex, they're making a Super Smash Brothers movie.
Bull.
Shigeru Miyamoto's on board.
Bull.
No.
Okay, that could just replace the Super Mario Brothers movie. I think that would be a fun movie. But I can
Wouldn't
also
it,
see them
though? Yeah.
screwing it up big time.
Yeah, they could. But
They
if
could.
Shigeru Miyamoto's doing it, I think it'll be
Maybe.
fine. Think it'll be fine.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Another oldie that could definitely be remade that hasn't, as far as I know, has not been touched yet is Dick Tracy.
Have you ever watched it?
I have, but it was a long time ago.
It's just one of those detective
Yeah.
ones. Did you ever play the NES game?
Uh-uh.
Oh my gosh! So it was a side scroller when you went into buildings, but when you left buildings, you're in his car that you could shoot bullets, and it was like the GTA top down.
Nice.
It probably started the GTA like thought because it was the
Sure.
top down cars going around the city.
Another one that actually just came to mind. Like, I'm probably gonna do more than 5, but another one that just came to mind. Have you ever seen The Shadow?
No.
It's an older movie along with Dick Tracy.
No. Never heard of it.
It's if I were to take a guess, 70s.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
If I were to take a guess, like you could probably look it up real quick. Like The
The Shadow.
The Shadow.
Is
We
it
used to
animated?
No, it's live action. We used to watch it at my grandmother's house.
Doesn't sound.
But that is
very-
definitely something that could definitely be remade right
Alex,
now.
it was made in '94.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I guess when you're younger, you think that they look like older
It takes
movies. I guess.
it takes place in the 30s.
Okay, all right, there. See, that's why I thought it, like, because the last time I watched it was probably in the 90s, so I just thought it was an older movie.
Has
'cause it-
Alec Baldwin in it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's back then, at least as a child watching it, it was a great movie, and I
Yeah.
feel like if it hasn't been touched, that's definitely something that could be remade.
Okay.
Let's see, what else did I have on here?
You were just jotting stuff down.
One that I can somewhat argue, I'd be on the edge of yes and no for a remake.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's been long enough. Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
don't
Maybe
know,
another
it's
10 years.
Too much of a classic to touch, I think. In
Think
my
so?
It's one
opinion.
of those classics though that it's somewhat timeless, but I feel like to get another big appreciation of it within the next 10 years, it's definitely you could probably touch it.
If you put that
Maybe.
in the same class as Ghostbusters, look what that did.
Yeah. Okay? They could have remade Ghostbusters, but they did it wrong.
Okay, but they still did it.
They
Oh,
did
yeah.
it. But I'm going on the edge of if they could remake these movies and make them good, and you would appreciate it, not go, oh, you can't touch
Well,
that.
I don't think you can say it. It has to be good because what if it's not?
Right. Exactly.
I guess what I'm trying to say is like if they would be in the I was gonna say in the newspaper, if it would be in the news tomorrow saying this movie is being remade, I wouldn't have bad feelings against it, going like, oh, you can't remake this
Right.
movie.
Right.
Yep.
I'd be like on the edge of yes or no on the edge of Beetlejuice. Just I love the original Beetlejuice, but it's on that edge where I could possibly see it being remade.
We have a comment on YouTube. I'm gonna have to go read it real quick.
yeah, I got it. I've got it pulled up.
Okay.
Okay, all right. I'll get to that comment.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got some
Do you
comments.
have another movie?
I do.
One more, Alex.
Because I got to remember mine.